It's a problem because it violates the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution.
How so?
In that it establishes a singular religion that is favored above all others in the state of Alabama and gives them the authority of state government.
A church in Birmingham, Alabama wants to do something no other in the U.S. has done before: get its own police department. That's no big deal for a religious institution like the Vatican, but it would be a first here at home if Briarwood Presbyterian Church gets the green light.
Briarwood Presbyterian Church sits on the buckle of the Bible Belt. Beyond Sunday services, the church claims as many as 8,000 people pass through its campuses daily. Concerned about safety, Briarwood is asking the state legislature to allow it to hire its own cops with all the powers of law enforcement officers. Religion reporter Greg Garrison has covered this for AL.com.
Why can't the church just hire off-duty officers or sheriff's deputies in the area?
That's what they already do, but they say sometimes they have difficulty getting enough to staff all their events.
Why can't they just rely on 911 and call for help if they need it?
Well, they could, but they believe that to be truly secure at all their events, they need security officials there.
A shooting this past weekend injured 5 teenagers and a baby at another church just 15 miles north of here. In a statement, Briarwood pointed to recent mass shootings at churches and schools to reinforce their need, saying the sole purpose of this proposed legislation is to provide a safe environment for the church, its members, students, and guests. Randall Marshall is with the ACLU of Alabama.
The church is worried about what if. What if something happens? Why is it a problem to have a police force?
It's a problem because it violates the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. This takes what is a core governmental power, the police power, and vests it in the hands of a religious organization as a church.
Briarwood would not be the first church with its own police force. The Washington National Cathedral has 18 police officers. Many observers expect Alabama's lawmakers will give their blessing on the Briarwood law.
The conservative Christian churches have a lot of power in Alabama politics. And if Briarwood Presbyterian Church says we need a police department, I think a lot of people will say, sure, they need a police department.
Without asking a ton of questions.
Without asking a ton of questions.
Briarwood has tried to form its own police force for years, but some groups think this could set a dangerous legal precedent. Representatives from both the American Civil Liberties Union and Americans United for Separation of Church and State said this move would violate the Constitution by granting a religious entity governmental power.
The church says it needs its own officers to keep its school and congregation safe, but critics believe it could lead to crimes not being reported if the force answers only to a congregation.
Those officers would operate only on church property, and if you want to file a complaint against the officers, you'd have to report to the church because they would be reporting to the church. Scott, church officials don't understand why anyone would be opposed to this. As one official told us today, what's all the fuss about?
House Bill 309 passed the legislature and received Governor Ivey's signature, allowing Briarwood Presbyterian Church to appoint or employ its own police officers.